Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Bob Cutler.
Sincerely, oh yes, sincerely, 'cause I love you so dearly. Please say you'll be mine. Sincerely, oh, you know how I love you. I'll do anything for you. Please say you'll be mine. Oh Lord, won't you tell me why I love that girlie so? She doesn't want me, but I'll never, 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 never let her go. Sincerely, oh, you know how I love you. I'll do anything for you. Please say you'll be mine. Oh Lord, won't you tell me why I love that girlie so? She doesn't want me, but I'll never, 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 never let her go. Sincerely, oh, you know how I love you. I'll do anything for you. Please say you'll be mine. Please say you'll be mine. Please say you'll be mine.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Talkin' Tunes. I am your host, Frank Walsh. Thanks for tuning in today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the video that you just saw is of a gentleman who has been on our show before, a couple of years ago. He is a guy who I have known for a few years. He is very noted for singing the songs of the American Songbook. Last time on, he covered a lot of tunes from the Rat Pack. And today, he's going to catch us up a little bit on what's been going on over the last couple of years, some of the other CDs that he recorded, and he's going to be entertaining you once again later on in the show. So again, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Bob Cutler. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, good.
Welcome back. What took so long?
Well, I've been doing a lot of recording. That's the main reason.
Yeah, we're going to be showing
5
your CDs. Yeah, we're going to be
since
showing them and featuring them in a little bit. But so what kind of music have you been doing? I know the last time you were on, you did the Rat Pack. And what about these other CDs? Talk about those a little bit.
Right after that, I did a country CD, mostly Hank Williams songs.
Very cool.
Yes. And then since then, it's been pop oldies again, guys' songs, girls' songs, Dusty Springfield.
Very cool.
For the girls.
Matter of fact, speaking of Dusty Springfield, I was going through my CD collection, and I my collection is really large and it's unorganized. So what I usually do is go and like grab one, or I'll say to my wife, I'll say, "Here, tell me when to stop," and I'll she'll say stop, and I'll put my finger on it, and I pulled out a Dusty Springfield double CD live in Nashville. Absolutely phenomenal. I don't think people realize what a great voice that she had.
Yes.
What made you choose her of all the women performers?
She's my favorite. Well, of course, I followed her since 1964 when she did Wishing and Hoping, and
Yep.
and I just I liked her soulful twang. I like a lot of black singers, but I like white singers that sing soul, like Dusty Springfield and the
Sure.
Righteous Brothers.
Right, right. And so you did some other stuff, and I know before the show we were talking about doo-wop, and we have a lot of commonalities with our taste in doo-wop music. And you have either finished a project, or you're going to start a project doing some doo-wop?
Going to start one soon, a CD, which will be mostly doo-wop. And actually today I'm going to do a couple of doo-wop songs from the other CDs.
Cool. Well, the one that you opened the show with was pretty cool. Can't wait to hear some of the other ones that you're going to do.
Yes.
Now, I understand that you're recording with a mutual friend of ours, Joe Merrick.
Yes, in Marshfield.
Yeah. He's recording currently several friends of mine who have either solo or duos or big bands. So, I mean, he really covers the gamut. And I also understand that you've done a lot of traveling. I think the last time we talked when we were arranging this show, you were heading where? Was it Thailand?
No, not there. Odessa, Ukraine.
Ukraine. I knew it was someplace that was not around the corner.
Yes, I have
Talk a little bit about that trip. I know you are a traveling man, so tell us a little bit about some of your adventures.
Well, I've been to Odessa, Ukraine 7 times now, actually,
Really?
since 2012. Because I have a girlfriend there whose pictures on
She's
the
on there?
country CD plus some earlier CDs. And then we've also toured 3 cities since last year: Paris in 2016,
Nice.
and Rome, and then earlier this year, her favorite, Amsterdam, Netherlands. In the
I have
tulip
not been
season.
there. I've been to the other 2, but not there. Now, the Netherlands is supposed to be really, really nice. How did you find that? And let's say compare and contrast that to France and Italy.
It wasn't as big as Rome or Paris, but it was very nice. And the highlight was when we went out of town one day to the gardens there, Kirchenhof Gardens.
Oh, okay.
And, huge flower beds, mostly of tulips. And this was in early April.
Oh, that's the best time to go. Just like in Paris. What time of year have you been to Paris?
I've been to Paris in the summer, but with Olga, we were there again the first week in April.
April, yeah.
2016.
Yeah, they're starting to bloom at that time, and there's a very well-known song by Charles Aznavour, as you probably know, is the Frank Sinatra of Europe, and he does a song with Diane Carroll called "Paris is at her best in May," and it's a phenomenal song. You should check that out. And it really talks about Paris coming to life. And if you've been there, comparing the gardens to the Netherlands, you must have been to the Tuileries in Paris. Their gardens and the flower beds and tulips, sunflowers.
We were at Versailles. And this was the first week in April of 2016. The flowers hadn't bloomed yet.
Not yet,
But I've
yeah.
been there in August, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, Versailles is a city within itself.
Yeah.
Just getting in there, I think the driveway is probably has its own zip code, But so what else is going on with you? Let's talk a little bit about some of the doo-wop stuff and some of the selections that you might think that you're going to make.
Okay, because I have background music. I purchased a lot of them. Oh, What a Night by the Dells.
The Dells,
Gloria
yeah.
by the Cadillacs. Good Night, Sweetheart, that both the Spaniels and the McGuire sisters did. Desiree by the Charts, which probably isn't well known by a lot of people.
Oh,
but,
Desiree is one of my favorite songs from the 50s. Yeah, Desiree, the Charts. And, there are so many doo-wop songs and doo-wop groups. Why did you, let's say, narrow your focus onto them versus some of the hundreds of others out there?
Wow. Well, I was in Savannah, Georgia a year ago for my cousin, who's also named Bob Cutler, his 90th birthday.
90th.
And his wife passed, but he has a girlfriend named Gloria.
Ah,
Now, and so I started singing Gloria by the Cadillacs to her, and that gave me the idea to record an all doo-wop.
now, can you
CD.
hit those notes that Earl Speedo Cadillac can do? Earl Speedo Carroll?
Maybe
You know,
the
especially at the end of it.
songs I have trouble with are the Platters songs. I don't touch them.
Oh, yeah. Tony
I don't
Williams.
touch Tony Williams songs.
Tony
They're
Williams,
too
you
high
don't
for
mess
me.
with him. But yeah, you pick some tough ones. I mean, Gloria is not an easy song to sing. I think the closest version that I've heard, other than Earl Speedo, is the Manhattan Transfers version of it.
Yes, I
You
have
know, with,
that on CD. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they're really good on that. Now, have you ventured off into the movie world or the theater world? You know, in addition to, you know, the standard music, have you gotten into any theaters tunes or any music themes and things like that?
I did on this guy's CD. I did a few songs. Mame, Hello Dolly,
Oh,
which are
cool.
from musicals. Standing on the Corner's from a musical.
Standing on the
Most
Corner.
Happy Fella from the 50s.
Yeah. So you've got a pretty diverse
Yes, I do.
taste. So when you're not performing your music and you know, playing, what do you do with your time? You have any other hobbies besides music?
Yeah, well, I watch a lot of. I go to see a lot of movies in the various libraries around, and movies and old TV shows at home on DVD that I watch.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Roseanne.
Roseanne.
I have multiple seasons of her.
Now you're a Braintree guy, so where do you go? The Fog? The Fog or the Braintree Library?
Yeah, I go to the Thayer Library.
Thayer,
in
I'm sorry,
Braintree.
Thayer, that's correct. Cool. Well, I think instead of talking about your music, I think it might be time for you to get up and play a little music. So talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing.
Okay, I'm going to do 2 songs from my Bob Cutler Sings Songs of the Guys CD, and 2 songs from Bob Cutler Sings More Songs of the Girls CD, my 2 latest CDs. And they're songs from the 50s and 60s. And
Cool.
they said 2 of them are doo-wops, and one is a Dusty Springfield song
Cool.
at the end, You Don't Have to Say You Love Me. And
Oh, I will. I love
the
you.
other one. There's one more.
Cool. Well, we'll have some fun doing that. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to sit back and relax and enjoy the stylings of Mr. Bob Cutler.
Don't let the sun catch you crying. The night's the time for all your tears. Your heart may be broken tonight, but tomorrow in the morning light, don't let the sun catch you crying. The nighttime shadows disappear, and with them go all your tears, for the morning will bring joy for every girl and boy. Oh, don't let the sun catch you crying. We know that crying's not a bad thing, so stop your crying when the birds sing. It may be hard to discover that you've been left for another. But don't forget that love's a game, and it will always come again. Oh, don't let the sun catch you crying. Don't let the sun catch you crying. Oh no, oh no, no. Love you, darling. Come and go with me. Don't you leave me way beyond the sea. I need you, darling. So come go with me. Come, 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 come. Come into my heart. Tell me, darling, we will never part. I need you, darling. So come go with me. Yes, I need you, yes, I really need you. Please say you'll never leave me. When you say you never, guess you really never. You never give me a chance. Come, 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 come into my heart. Tell me, darling, we will never part. I need you, darling, so come go with me. Yes, I need you, yes, I really need you. Please say you'll never leave me. When you say you never, guess you really never. You never give me a chance. Come, 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 come into my heart. Tell me, darling, we will never part. I need you, darling, so come go with me. Come go with me. Come go with me. Come go with me. When I said I needed you, you said you would always stay. It wasn't me who changed but you, and now you've gone away. Don't you see? But now you're gone, and I'm left here all alone. That I have to follow you and beg you to come home. You don't have to say you love me, just be closer. You don't have to stay forever, I will understand. Believe me, I can't help but love you. But believe me, I'll never tie you down. Left alone with just a memory. Life seems dead and so unreal.
left is loneliness. There's nothing left to feel. You don't have to say you love me, just be closer. You don't have to stay forever, I will understand. Believe me, you don't have to say you love me, just be closer. You don't have to stay forever, I will understand. Believe me, believe me, believe me.
Pretty nice there, Bob.
Yes.
Pretty nice. Thank you for
Thank you.
doing that. Now, one thing I don't think I've asked you before is that, do you get out and sing? Do you go to karaoke?
Occasionally, I go to karaoke in
and
Odessa.
perform?
I go to karaoke in Odessa, Ukraine, and I sing
really?
there and sing songs from my CDs there. And I actually sold the guy, copy of the guy's CD to this guy this summer, Ukrainian guy, but he sang 2 songs in English and he knew English well, so and I could see he was appreciating me, so I managed to get him to buy this one.
Cool. Any places closer to Braintree or where I am or in Weymouth?
At the Hearthstone, I used to perform at the Hearthstone, but they closed and have a couple of new owners since then.
Yeah. Well, some of the Chinese restaurants around still have karaoke. You know, Cathay Pacific has it. The other place in Weymouth, one of the other Chinese places, right on 3A, they have karaoke quite a bit. So if you go out there and do some searches, you'll probably do some do some karaoke. I'd like to get out there and see you sometime.
Yeah.
You know, and how would people get your music if people wanted to purchase your music? How would they do that?
I have like 7 CDs at the Randolph Music Center.
Okay.
North Main Street,
Yep.
Randolph.
Can people buy them online?
They can buy them online. I have a website.
What's that website? And we'll put it up there. We'll put it up there later.
Okay. I think it's.
Is it on your CD?
It's on the guy's CD. It's a lot of letters, so I probably don't want to.
Maybe I can help you. Okay, it is www.songcastmusic.com. Profiles, Bob Cutler. And you could also contact Bob at bobcutler@aol.com. So Bob, is there any...
Bob Cutler 7.
7, Bob Cutler 7. There you go, there you go.
The one that you mentioned is my cousin Bob in Georgia, Savannah, Georgia.
Okay,
and,
all right.
Sometimes
well, he could always
people get us
forward them to you.
confused.
You could always forward them to you. So anybody that you would like to say hello to or like to thank or give any shout outs to before we wrap it up?
I'll say hello to my friend Caroline, my friend Steve Lynch.
Steve Lynch?
Who's leaving for Paris.
Really?
He's leaving for Paris October 25th.
Now that's not the Steve Lynch who we may be mutual friends with called, they nickname him Pappy? Pappy?
No.
No? Okay, because I know it's Steve Lynch.
And not the congressman either. This is
okay. So I know it's Steve Lynch.
Steve Lynch. And yes, and also if she's listening, if I manage to send this show to her, my friend Olga Zakova in Odessa, Ukraine.
Cool. Well, you're going to get the links, and it's going to be up there, and it's going to get showed pretty frequently, so you'll have all the information that you need to share it. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is always a pleasure doing these shows because I have great guests like Bob Cutler. But I wouldn't be able to do this show without the support of Smack TV behind me. That would be Roxanne Morse, who is our director. And today we have Mr. Michael Hammond, who is pushing the buttons. Also, thank you to Dave Young for his technical assistance, because he is always there when we need him. So, Bob Cutler, thank you once again for coming on. It was a pleasure. Enjoyed your music. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, you need to go out and support your local musicians. It's people like Bob and so many other guests that we've had on this show. Go out and see them. So, until the next time, for everyone here at SMAC, for my guest Bob Cutler, I am Frank Walsh. Tune in and tune on.